everybody. Welcome to Capital Combat. The name says it all. I'm Hakeem Branch, and today we're doing a split site preview where Rob will give his thoughts right after mine. Today we're going to be covering tonight's Timothy Bradley-Rios welterweight showdown for Bradley's welterweight title. Also on that card, you have Vasily Lomachenko fighting a guy by the name of Corsica, who honestly I could not find any footage of. Completely unheralded, which pretty much equals up to a showcase fight. Now, Lomachenko being the skilled tactician that he is, that also has decent power, you want to see this guy on TV. But it is kind of funny that there are other guys out there who are searching for opponents and get their opponents turned down by the same people when you get this guy fighting people who you haven't heard of either. That's just the way boxing goes. I know some people are asking questions about that. Some people could care either way, as long as their guy's on TV. And so if Lomachenko's your guy, he's on TV, he's gonna shine. It's gonna be a pretty one-sided fight unless Corsica shows up and puts on a performance of a lifetime. You're gonna get a beat down until he either falls or the ref stops it or the corner stops it because he's just getting hit too hard too often and there's nothing he can do in retaliation. Let's move on to the main event where we got Bradley-Rios challenging Timothy Bradley, like I said earlier. Now in this one, the general consensus is this is Bradley's fight to lose. Now, Bradley is seen as being the more skilled guy. He has more tools in the toolbox. He does a lot of things very good. Nothing great. But he wins. With the exception of the Pacquiao fight, which he didn't make too bad of account of himself in that fight. He just fought one of the best fighters of this era. So that's nothing to be ashamed of. He's not facing that at Bradley-Rios. Bradley-Rios is a good guy. He's capable, but his feet tend to be kind of slow. His hand speed isn't the best. He has okay power. It's more of a wear you down type of power because he's more of a swarmer. He throws a lot of punches. Very good left hook. His right hand is pretty decent as well. When he uses his jab, it can be effective. But these attributes have been effective on people who are not on the level of Bradley, which is why most people think that Bradley's going to win this fight. He has a tendency to make fights difficult for him because he wants to please the fans, and he has kind of a chip on his shoulder, especially after the first Pacquiao debacle, which really wasn't his fault. He went out there and fought his fight. The judges did whatever they decided they wanted to do, and he caught the brunt end of that. So since then, he's been trying to brawl a little more often. To his detriment, he was hurt several times against Rustam Provodnikov. Jesse Vargas hurt him in the final round of their fight, in a fight that he was fighting pretty smart and actually brawling pretty smart as well. So he can do it, and he should do it unless he lets Rios tee off on him too often in the exchanges. Bradley has to be first, Bradley has to finish, and Bradley has to use his superior footwork to befuddle Bradley-Rios throughout the entire night. It may be easy because Rios looked really bad during the weigh-in. Eyes sunk in, dehydrated, flush, looked lethargic. So this may be an easier win for Bradley than initially thought of, unless Rios can rehydrate properly and come into the ring a little healthier than he looked yesterday. So that's it for my section. Stay tuned for Rob. He's coming right after. Make sure you hit us up on Facebook, Google+, and Instagram at CapitalofCombat. Leave your comments below and stay tuned for Rob. Peace.
So what's going on, fight fans? We're talking about the Bradley-Rios and Timothy Bradley fight that's going on Saturday. This should be a good one. See, what we're looking for is Bradley to show some improvement and to go back to the basics, to do some boxing. He's with Teddy Atlas now. This is their first fight together, and already he's excited about the training camps and how professional Teddy Atlas is. And if you know anything about Teddy Atlas, when it comes to fight time, he is all about the fights. He wants punctuality, professionalism. He wants you to be just to adhere to the training regimen and to do what's necessary to be successful. So if you heard Bradley talk, he's loving it. He's looking sharp. He's healthy. He's not on the vegan diet anymore. So what he's doing is going straight to just a regular training diet, running, and trying to go back to some of those basics that Teddy Atlas is going to preach. So I see him not trying to wing those shots to just box. Kind of how we did in the first half of the Pacquiao fight and everything. But depending on the flow of the fight and the pressure that Rios brings, because we know Rios is a very come-forward fighter. He's not fast. He's not particularly strong. What he does is he pressures his opponents and breaks them down over the course of 10 to 12 rounds. So what I'm looking for him to do is to get close and crowd Bradley. Bradley is going to have to use his feet and throw straight shots. We know he can box. We know he's faster. He may not have the power to knock out Rios, and we know Rios has a great chin. But he tends to get drawn into firefights. It's happened with Chavs. It's happened with Pacquiao. It's happened with the Kendall Holt and Ruslan Provodnikov. To be honest, it might look a little bit like that one because of the fact that when he boxed, he was great. He snapped Provodnikov's head back. He was moving. He was frustrating. But when he got into that firefight and stepped into his wheelhouse too much, then what happened? He got knocked down. He got hurt several times. He was out on his feet, and he just had the wherewithal to fight back. So look for him to not get into that kind of exchange with Rios, because Rios is a little bit faster than Provodnikov, and I think he's a little bit more polished. Rios, once he gets close, he knows what to do, and he throws nice short shots. He has a really good uppercut, and I'm looking for him to go to the body with Bradley. And Bradley doesn't have quite that punch resistance that he usually has. He's been clipped. He was clipped in the Vargas fight. He was clipped in the Provodnikov fight. He tends to get hurt, especially at the end of the fight. And if he's in there with exchanges, he can go in and out. So really look for Rios to pour on the pressure and to keep Bradley off his back foot. Well, on his back foot. We also know that Lomachenko has a fight. I can't pronounce his thing. I'm going to Kasaicha. With that, I think it's going to be another showcase fight. I haven't seen this guy. I've been looking for footage. Haven't seen a whole lot. But what I'm looking for is Lomachenko to put on a really good performance and try to get some more names in the ring with them. We know he's with Top Rank. A lot of the fights that you want to see are with PBC, so we're not sure how that's going to go, but this is another stay busy fight for Lomachenko, in my opinion. Thanks for listening, guys, and we'll see you in the next video.
Round one, and you've already lost. They don't seem to see that everything we've done is coming and cost. My fists are on fire. I perform till I perspire. My demons are in a rage. Keep thinking that it's a game. I kick crime, hurricane. I told them I don't play. I'm liquid.
Black Street Fighter.